London, Ontario, the Forest City.
We are currently outside of A.B. Lucas, which is hidden in the heart of the series of neighborhoods.
But take a look at this.
This entire neighborhood used to be farmland!
Urbanization is a real issue that has already caused harm to our environment, and without major change, we can expect to see extinction and harm to biodiversity and ecosystems. I'm here in Goderich, Ontario, a beach town located on the shore of Lake Huron. Many people from the city like to utilize Goderich for its beaches, trails, small town charm, and other natural resources. However, even the small town of Goderich is facing extensive expansion plans over the next few years. One of these plans being adding mobile homes to the golf course on the Maitland Golf Course located on the river. This is home to many ecosystems, habitats, and natural biodiversity. The town is very divided on whether or not this is a good idea, and today I will be sitting down with Jim Hollingworth, a retired physician and prominent environmentalist activist, to discuss this development and how urbanization will impact the environment.
Okay, so talking about the Goderich golf course, plans are, I've got the green light to go ahead and build a 30 plus mobile home situation there, right on the bluffs of the Maitland River. And this is bad planning from an environmental point of view, and from it being a very prized piece of land for the people who live in Goderich to relax, enjoy nature, and to play golf, I guess.
And can you tell me any ecosystems, habitats, and other natural resources that would be disturbed in the process?
Well, there are two endangered species living down on the riverbanks, and one's a snake, and I forget the nature of the other endangered species. But being a river and being at the estuary of the river, it's a natural pathway for creatures to move from place A to place B, and if it becomes too disturbed by human behavior, then that pathway will be blocked. It's already blocked on the other side of the river because of a trailer park that extends right to the river's margins.
And since you've been living in Goderich, have you noticed an increase in developments and urbanization in the last decade or so?
No, when you say that, it makes me feel sad and a little bit angry, because in the last 5 to 6 years, 4 farms that had prime agricultural land were taken over. It's not been for the kind of accommodation we need. It's been for a suburbia. I call them mini Mississaugas. And the planners tell us that throughout the province of Ontario, there is enough space within towns and cities to build enough accommodation to help with the housing crisis that we have.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it's interesting how I feel like a lot of places who do this sort of thing think they're the one exception. They think it's one golf course, one small town, but really it's happening all over the world. So the environmental impact is just being increased.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that's my concern. We do need more homes, that's for sure. But as I said earlier, we've been told that there is sufficient brown space within towns and cities. So why would we take out prime agricultural land to build subdivisions that are not space efficient and are not the kind of accommodation that we need?
Is there anything else you'd like to add about how Goderich environmental future will be within the next decade or so?
Well, it's changing the nature of a small, not rural village, but a small southwestern Ontario town that's becoming more cosmopolitan, which is a good thing, but the main concern about that is that it's taking up our agricultural land that grows our food. And it's not as if you can go to Walmart and buy new farms with all the soil and trees. It's once the wetlands and once the farmland is gone, it's gone forever. And it's noted that for the last decade or so, Ontario has been losing over 300 acres of arable land per day. And there's now this issue going on just outside of Kitchener, where 700 acres have been destined for development, and the farmers who are there have not been told what it's going to become in terms of a developed state, and but they have been told if they don't sell their farms, they will be appropriated and they'll be evicted. So it's a horrible situation for them to be in. And one of the great sadness, a great sadness in my life is that Ontario has 36 conservation authorities, and they used to work in conjunction with towns and villages about development. And they had rules and regulations that they could enforce. And now that's all been taken away from them. And the present provincial government is all for development. You've probably read about the Greenbelt.
Yes,
they were willing
absolutely.
to build in the Greenbelt. So it's of great concern to me that this, I call it open season for development. If you want to develop in Ontario now, there are very few rules and regulations that says you can't.
Absolutely. If so much damage can be done to just one small town, imagine the impact on a global scale. If we aren't careful, both Goderich and the world's resources and natural biodiversity will deplete. And that's a future none of us want to see.
So what? Why is downtown London, Ontario being met with record-breaking amounts of homelessness while the whole rest of the city is having vast housing developments? Let's take a look at downtown London, Ontario. I am currently in downtown London, Ontario, where there are new luxurious apartments being built daily, but still so many people are homeless. This shows the increase of housing liabilities and how expensive things are really getting now. Given so much money for housing abilities in London, Ontario, yet so many people are homeless and are suffering. All houses being built are super expensive. How are young people straight out of university, working class individuals, and families meant to afford any of these houses? Consider the condo crisis in Toronto in 2009. The need for housing was increasing, and so they built condos. But there was a problem. There were all these new condos built, but nobody could afford them. Currently, London is facing a similar problem. London, along with the rest of the world, is destroying farmland and natural resources. But for what? Without serious change, we're on a scary path of deforestation, destruction, and extinctions for the primal purpose of fancy, expensive housing, which nobody can even afford. A change that could resolve the issue is to build affordable apartment buildings. This will conserve our land, as hundreds of housing accommodations could be built on only 800 square feet of land.
Let's make a change to help our home.